A new article just dropped about Harry and Meghan's body language at the Bob Marley movie premiere in Jamaica and how they were supposedly upset about where they were seated. But I watched all of the footage and I think there's something much more calculated going on. I believe they didn't just go for the movie, they went to one up William and Catherine's 2022 visit. And the way they did it feels straight out of the malignant narcissist playbook. Let's get into it, but before we begin, here's the intro.
Welcome to Revealing the Narc. Join me as I highlight narcissistic traits in celebrities and public figures. Everything here is in my opinion and not professional advice. If you enjoy the analysis, please like and subscribe.
During a live stream earlier today, I went through the article and through quite a bit of footage that really support this idea that Harry and Meghan's trip was motivated by something deeper. I'm going to insert the live stream clip now and make sure to stick around because that's when I'll start getting into this competitive one up. It's hard to say competitive one upmanship and malicious jealousy. So, without further ado, here is that clip from the live stream. All right, everyone. So, let's get started on this article. It was published today, August 9th, and it's titled Body Language Expert Reveals Harry and Meghan's Awkward Moment at Film Premiere When They Acted Like A-List Celebrities. And yes, they did. They absolutely did. I should warn you right now, the body language expert is Judy James, and we've always been a little bit, well, as time goes on, I'm a little bit more and more weary and analytical about the things that she says. But yeah, let's get into it. So the article begins. Prince Harry and Meghan are used to receiving royal treatment at events. So when they turned up at the Bob Marley One Love biopic premiere, and were given seats 3 rows from the front of the theater, they could hardly conceal their shock. During the glitzy event at the Carib Theater, the couple chatted with anti monarchist Jamaican Prime Minister Andrew Holness. Analyzing photos from last January's event, body language expert Judy James told the Daily Mail Meghan seemed to treat this red carpet appearance as a full blown Hollywood one. And this is where it gets into that dicey area with Prince William and Princess Catherine, because Harry and Meghan visited January of 2024. In March of 2022, William and Catherine went, and their visit didn't go very well. Andrew Holness specifically told them something along the lines of, Jamaica's moving on from the monarchy, and it was said in front of cameras. I'm going to try to find the footage and post it in the video I post later today. But you can see Meghan's motivation for wanting to be there, for wanting to rub shoulders with Andrew Holness, and her behavior. She's so transparent and obvious and predictable. I don't understand how people don't see through her. I really don't understand. The article continues and says, she looked regal and gracious in her elegant ball gown and pulled the kind of moves A-list celebrity couples perform, like the romantic gesture of ownership as she places a hand on Harry's chest. Okay, I was going to wait to get into the videos, but let me show you what Judy James is talking about with this romantic gesture of ownership. First of all, ownership? That's romantic? No. Okay. No. No, no, no. But this is the moment she's talking about. Look at Meghan's hand. She's literally holding him back. You stand right there. There's even a moment that Harry moves and she does not like it. And yes, this is when she was overdressed for the event, or she was wearing the black ball gown and a black tank top. It looks like, well, the ball gown looks like it's a skirt. And if I'm not mistaken, there was an ad she did a couple of months before that was either for As Ever or American Riviera Orchard, where she was running around through the house. I believe she was wearing this outfit. Yeah, the black t-shirt and big skirt. Yeah, exactly. Ownership and stage managed. Yes, Yes, yes. So this is what Judy James is talking about. That move right there. Seriously. Romantic gesture of ownership. No, she's holding him back. She's telling him where to stand. The article continues and says Meghan was fully in charge of the steering on the night, gently nudging Harry around and at one point pulling his hand out of his trouser pocket so that she could hold hands with him to walk into the venue. I did not find that, but I'm going to go look for that. I didn't notice that. And then the article continues and says Harry was showing body language signs of anxiety as they posed for their red carpet photos, but these increased and peaked once the couple were inside the venue and being ushered to their seats. So I have a couple of pictures here for you. This is basically from the video we just saw where Meghan is placing her hand, holding him back, telling him basically where to stand. The gentleman in the middle is the Prime Minister, Andrew Holness, who is an anti-monarchist. Here is another photo of them. I'm not sure who's behind because Meghan looks like she's shaking hands with the lady. I don't know who's behind that lady that Harry is shaking hands with. It might be this lady in the beautiful bling dress. I love bling, so I love I love the accents on that dress. And then here's another photo of them speaking. Here's them walking in. The photo on the left, that's with the CEO of Paramount, I believe, and his wife. And there, I think you can see, I saw a couple of photos or moments where Harry is touching his eyebrow like that. And I think this is what Judy James is talking about, that he's uncomfortable. Maybe because he's staring someone in the face who doesn't believe in the monarchy, and Harry, if he wants to be called a prince, he's a prince because of a monarchy. Yeah. There's all those photos. Okay, and before we get into it, I want to go through I'll show you a couple of video clips. So let me catch up on the comments. I bet she had the big word salad, always. Always, and that's a play on Seinfeld. I love that. Oh my gosh. Yeah, Carol says Meghan played stupid games and won stupid prizes, like Harry. Allegedly. Alice says, look, I have absolutely no issue with a woman being the more dominant one in a relationship if that works, but my issue with H&M is he looks miserable, so it doesn't look natural. There's a difference between being the dominant one, taking the first steps. Maybe there's a difference between being the one that's leading, like in a dance, there's one that leads, and there's a difference in being controlling and having mask slips and giving looks that are intimidating. The taps on his back and he immediately adjusts. That's control and it's intimidating. This is dangerous territory, right? And this is just my opinion on all of that. Let's see. He looks nervous in the picture. Yeah. It's not ownership. Have they never seen the claw? It's full on control. Exactly. Like submissive versus surrendering, Elisaria says. Meghan looks so overdressed. Yeah. Wyatt Home says Harry is one in a long line of royals submitting to their spouses. I believe it comes from those men having had strong mothers and are used to deferring to women. Yeah, I could totally see that. Okay, so now let's get into the next video clip. But before we do, I posted this video clip at the end of March, and I had a really nice music playing in the background. I can do that as long as the video is a short. Usually I don't get copyright anything when it's a short, but because this is a full-length YouTube video, I don't think I can do that here. But if any of you know that song, Sitting and Waiting and Wishing and Hoping, I can't sing, okay, but it's an oldies tune, and that's pretty much what Meghan is doing here. This is where we see Meghan's agenda come out in full force. Meghan's goal for coming to this event is what we're about to see right now. So Harry is talking to the Prime Minister, and Meghan touches his bum, tells him, scoot over, I'm here. I am here to talk to the Prime Minister. And then she gazes at him, waiting for Harry to finish. This was ultimately her goal. The tap on the bum, scoot over Harry. I'm here to do the talking. Finish your conversation. It's enough. In my opinion, her goal here was to one up William and Catherine, specifically Catherine. Okay, so the next clip I have for you, I don't know if this one's a big deal, but I'm going to show it to you anyways. And I feel Meghan kind of nudges Harry's hand away. Here we go. So they're done taking the photo. Harry goes to reach her hand and she is just, I don't know, swiping herself. And I think there's irony in that. Not irony, hypocrisy. There's hypocrisy in that because I have a video, and I'm sure there's so many more. When Harry and Meghan went to Australia, they come out of a car. Harry's trying to button his jacket, and Meghan doesn't care. She reaches for his hand, pulls his hand, and he doesn't get to button his jacket. So it's a double standard. Like he's reaching for her hand, but she needs to make sure that she's good to go, but she doesn't lend that same was courtesy. She doesn't lend that same courtesy to her husband. Me again is always rude. Do you guys see that, by the way, what I'm showing in this video? Do you think it's something, or do you think it's nothing? I'll have it play again. Yeah, Kristen says, to me, it looked like she was brushing his filth off of her. She actually did it as they were walking in to take the photo as well. So there must have been something there because she did it right before also. She's ready to hold hands when she feels like it. Yes, yes, when she feels like it. Okay, the next clip is a mask slip. So quickly she goes from smiling, and it's not, maybe the mask slip is not that big of a deal. It's just she goes from a forced smile to nothing. And I think it's that contrast that is so wild. Here, I'll play it again. You guys let me know what you think about that. Okay, in this next clip, Harry and Meghan are walking. This is very reminiscent of the 2020 Endeavor Awards where she's wearing the blue dress and she doesn't care if Harry wants to talk to someone. So you'll see Harry turns around, someone is talking to him. Meghan doesn't even concern herself, doesn't even turn around to see who Harry might be talking to. She just keeps going. No concern at all for his social interactions. The next one is two different videos, but it's with the same woman. And here's what happens. And I don't know which comes first. There's this video where there's conversations happening, and the next video is of them taking a photo together. But Meghan's behavior is the same. So in this video, every time this woman is going to talk to Harry, or Harry takes a step closer, or this woman looks towards Harry, Meghan reaches out and touches this woman. Harry comes forward and Meghan touches. And then now this woman will look at Harry in a second, and Meghan will interrupt again. So see, she will look at Harry. Oh, no, don't talk to Harry. Keep your attention right here. So there was the moment where Harry was coming closer. Meghan was not going to let that conversation happen. And in the second moment, the woman looks over at Harry and Meghan taps again. Yeah. God Fever is asking, why is everyone obsessed with the bony claw? It's not, I don't think it's obsession. I think it's material to study. For me, watching Meghan's behavior is very familiar to me. I've known people that are like this. And if I can understand it and if I can explain it, putting logic on things that don't make emotional sense is healing. So that's my thought about it. Yep, that's Kathy. That's what she's saying. No, eyes on me. Eyes on me. Mean Eileen says the clown can't stand when the attention isn't on her. Yep. MD. She will break her arm before she slows down and acknowledges Harry. Yeah. Yeah. And Steve agrees. Steve thinks that's hilarious. Awesome. Awesome. Let's watch this clip one more time. I just can't. And I think it might be something that's easy to miss, right? But if you look at the big picture and what's why she's doing what she does. Like, she can sense when someone's attention is drifting away from her, so she pulls them right back with that touch. She does the same thing with Harry. Very well said. Very well said. She is a control freak. Sarah says, I've never seen an adult use their touch so thoroughly to manipulate others. It's fascinating. Absolutely. Elisaria says, plus we can learn so we don't fall into those emotional traps again. Yes, thank you. Thank you. Kristen says, I never would have spotted that action on my own in this video. She's like an evil genius. She can control a group of people with a subtle gesture. Yeah, yeah. Okay, and now let me show you the part where they're taking the picture and Megan. So unfortunately, the clip ends right here, but I think Megan was doing that gesture in an attempt to prevent this woman from walking away. See, she starts looking towards Harry, and Megan seems to want to grab her and pull her attention back. Whose attention wouldn't drift away from her? Please stop talking in word salad, right? Please. So the article continues and says, while the VIPs were said to be in the front row of the stalls, Megan was being ushered into her seat 3 rows back. While her smile suggests her expression of utter graciousness was unflinching, Harry clearly hangs back, performing several gestures of reluctance, discomfort, and even indecision. And you know what? Let me show you that clip before we go on. Let's watch what it looks like. Oh, first let's watch this one. Mhm. Okay, so this is when they're walking into the theater, and Megan is gonna have a mask slip. So they're walking in, she looks at the floor, and bam. Smiling, smiling. Hi, happy people. Hi, happy people. Oh no, there it is. And then there's another one that I had never actually seen before. There's nothing to really report in this video. It's just there. I just hadn't seen it before. I looked at it. I couldn't notice really any body language cues or anything. But this is now after they've walked through that hallway and Megan had the mask slip. Oh, Megan. Actually, I just noticed that Megan must have been upset that she didn't even stand to shake hands with the man who just shook hands with Harry. Let's watch that one more time. Wow, Megan didn't even bother to say hello. That's so rude. Yeah. Yeah, Megan looked angry being in a regular movie theater. Yeah. You guys, I put these clips together all this morning. Okay, and now the cherry on top, the actual clip of them walking to their seats. You'll see, I'm going to show you the whole clip and then show you Megan, zoom in on Megan, and then zoom in on Harry. So here we go. Megan walking to her seat, totally unflinching. And Harry's like, what is this? Where am I? What is happening here? The other thing I noticed is that the row behind them have waters, but their row doesn't. But maybe up until the 3rd row, they were doing table service or seat service, and maybe behind them there wasn't any of that. Steve. Oh my goodness. Oh, that's funny. Which way is the ballroom? I guess Harry wasn't up on that never complain part he was taught. Yeah, he definitely hasn't, because all we've heard from him since 2020 is complain. Harry knows he's in trouble. And I wonder, like, when I actually look at this, I feel Harry's concern is not that he cares, it's that he is going to hear about this from Meghan when they go home. To me, that's what it looks like. Like, oh no, she's going to be mad. I'm going to have to pay for this. That's my impression. Yeah, from royalty to a movie theater. All right, so let's get back to the article. And this is what Judy James describes. Her smile suggests her expression of utter graciousness. I don't know. I don't know. If it does show expression of utter graciousness, it's because the quality isn't great. I'm sure there's a mask slip in there somewhere. And then it says Harry clearly hangs back, performing several gestures of reluctance, discomfort, and even indecision. Judy James said, for Harry, public functions and the royal family have always meant top billing, the best seats in the house, and preferential treatment. But here, there is a more unilateral look where they were expected to take their own seats and maybe even buy their own popcorn. Oh, goodness. Harry's lack of experience in this kind of scenario seems to show through here. As he walks into the cinema, he hikes his trousers by the belt in a very unroyal gesture, suggesting he is trying to trigger his People's Prince persona. Oh my god, the horror of maybe having to buy their own popcorn. Oh my goodness. The article continues and says, but as Megan takes her seat, his anxiety rituals increase as he hangs back, watching with what looks like concern. He rubs his mouth in a gesture that suggests a desire to speak, but a reluctance to say the wrong thing. The rubbing hand moves to the underneath of his chin in a self comfort ritual associated with evaluation and indecision. In a royal role, gestures like this would alert royal staff that all is not well, but here Harry is just being ushered into his seat next to Meghan. So I do have to agree that I agree with Judy James' assessment with his body language. I just don't know if it's more out of fear of how Meghan was is going to respond to this. I'm sure part of it is him. I'm sure he has a little bit of an ego as well, but I would imagine it's more directed towards what's Megan going to think about this? The article continues as he joins her in the stalls. He has one hand in his trouser pocket, suggesting he's dithering rather than just taking a seat. His lips are sucked in, adding to the air of indecision or regret. Megan seems to point or beckon to someone behind, and it looks clear that there is some kind of delay to clarify arrangements here. And this is the photo they're talking about. I couldn't find video of this. There's only a photo where I mean, look at Harry's face, the defeat on his face, man. And it could be, as Judy James was saying, Megan is trying to clarify, are you sure this is where we're seating? And actually, this doesn't look like the third row to me. There are many rows ahead of them because the article said they were sitting in the third row. No, they're not. They are several rows behind. All right. Let's see. So I have a couple more pictures. These are just stills from that moment. You can see Harry has his hand under his chin. Megan, I mean, it's that fake smile. You can tell. Yeah, Harry looks nervous. Oh no. You know, at least there's space for her ball gown. When I think of going to movie theaters, I don't think there's that much space. I don't know. And then finally, this must be, this is the official image once they've accepted their fate and now they are poised to smile for the cameras. Oh my goodness. And then the article closes out like this. It's not the only time Harry and Meghan have been accused of acting like celebrities. Stop right there. There's no problem in acting like celebrities, okay? Like the issue isn't acting like celebrities because not all celebrities act like this. The issue is ego, grandiosity, expectation without giving anything back. They are ego driven and they're offended. That it's not that they're accused of acting like celebrities. They are accused of acting insulted. Yeah. And the article finishes up by saying that that they were also accused of acting this way during the Invictus Games and later in that same year in 2023. Richard Eden wrote in his column that Meghan looked more like a Hollywood wannabe than a member of the royal family. Yeah. Oh, yes. I couldn't think of the word mean Eileen, but yes, entitled. They were acting entitled. Yes. Yes. Well, I hope you enjoyed that clip. I'd love for you to join me on my next live stream. I'm trying to do them a lot more regularly and being consistent about the time of day that I go live. But let's get into the purpose of this video. And in order to do that, we have to first start with William and Catherine's Jamaica visit in March of 2022. They visited for the Queen's Platinum Jubilee. They immersed themselves in the Jamaican culture. They visited the Trench Town Bob Marley Museum. They played drums and they shared in a soccer match with Raheem Sterling. But their visit was overshadowed by two headline-making moments. There was a fence photo of William greeting children through a chain link fence that was taken out of context but turned into a viral image implying distance and colonial overtones. And there was a meeting where the Prime Minister Andrew Holness bluntly told them Jamaica was moving on from the monarchy right in front of the cameras.
And we are moving on, and we intend to attain in short order our development goal and fulfill our true ambitions.
From a royalist perspective, this felt like a political stagecraft. Carefully timed optics that shifted the narrative from celebration to controversy. And for someone with malignant narcissist tendencies, this type of public undermining can be gold. It destabilizes the status quo, creates a power vacuum, and invites someone else to swoop in. Fast forward to January 23, 2024, Harry and Meghan appear on the red carpet at the Bob Marley One Love premiere in Kingston. They're photographed smiling with the Prime Minister, the same man who undercut William and Catherine's visit. This is where we see two hallmark malignant narcissist strategies. The first is competitive social comparison, and it's essentially this competitive one-upmanship, which is a narcissistic tactic where someone constantly tries to outshine or outperform others, not to improve themselves, but to diminish the other person's status. Malignant narcissists are always sizing themselves up against whoever they see as competition. And for Meghan, Catherine is the ultimate rival. During this premiere, Meghan's warm, over-the-top behavior towards the Prime Minister is not just casual friendliness, it's calculated. She was making sure her interaction would be remembered more than William and Catherine's. You might have seen this in your own life. In friendships, it's that friend who can't just let you have your moment. You share something exciting, and immediately they jump in with something bigger they've done. In relationships, it's a partner who suddenly flirts with someone else right after you get attention, just to shift the focus back on them. At work, it's the coworker who rushes to present your idea to the boss so they can get the credit. And in families, it's the sibling who has to outdo your milestone, bigger wedding, bigger house, bigger vacation, no matter what you achieve. The second thing that I wanted to talk about is this envy-driven image management. It's malicious jealousy, an intense, spite-driven envy that goes beyond wanting what someone else has. It includes a desire to see the other person lose it or be brought down. Envy in a malignant narcissist isn't just feeling jealous. It's an active, strategic move to outshine the other person. In Jamaica, Meghan didn't just show up. She curated her look, her body language, and every interaction to project herself as the more magnetic, in-demand royal compared to Catherine. You might see this same thing play out in everyday life. In friendships, you bring someone into your circle, and suddenly they're hosting events without you, becoming the popular one you introduced. In relationships, a partner charms your friends or family so much that they start to prefer your partner over you. At work, a colleague takes over your client relationship and starts getting all the praise. And in families, maybe a parent praises your sibling for the exact same thing they've criticized you for, positioning them as the good one while you're painted in a less flattering light. Now, keep in mind, in all of these examples, the intention is what's critical. Is there malicious jealousy behind the action? And between Meghan and Catherine, I believe Meghan's intent is malicious. I'm curious to know what you all think about this. Please drop your thoughts in the comments. If this was interesting to you, please like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you'll know every time I drop a new video. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video and you're looking for a meaningful way to support something beyond the screen, I'd love for you to consider making a donation to the National Domestic Violence Hotline in lieu of super chats and super stickers. They provide 24/7 support and resources for people in unsafe or overwhelming situations, whether that's emotional, physical, or just hard to name. Their information is on the screen should you need to contact them, and you'll find the link to donate in the description of this video. Every little bit helps, and it means a lot. Thank you again for watching, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye, everybody.